Hi everyone, my name is Nisarg, and today I'll be presenting my research on breaking down barriers, the art and science of fragmented-based drug discovery. But first, a bit of an intro about myself. I'm a rising junior at Del Norte High School in San Diego, California. I'm pretty interested in drug discovery as well as artificial intelligence, and currently I'm a student researcher researching cancer inhibition. I presented my research over the past year to many college conferences, such as the National Conference of Undergraduate Research in 2024. With that, let's start off our journey of drug therapy and fragmented-based drug discovery. In order to do this, let me introduce to you two pharmaceutical companies, Roche and Plexicon. But what is the significance of these two companies? First, let's introduce what fragmented-based drug discovery is. Imagine a puzzle, each piece a crucial part of a life-saving solution. Fragmentation and fragmented-based drug discovery breaks down complex molecules in smaller and potent fragments to design effective and safe drugs. This innovative approach revolutionizes drug discovery, making it more precise and efficient. But what does this have to do with these two companies? Let's travel back to 2011. Roche and Plexicon, two big pharmaceutical powerhouses, embarked on the quest to combat cancer. They pioneered the first drug created through fragmented-based drug discovery. This was called vemurafenib, used to treat late-stage melanoma and skin cancer. And this actually saved thousands of lives and actually decreased patient mortality by 63%. This breakthrough wasn't just a scientific achievement for drug discovery, it was a beacon of hope and a really good start to the world of fragmented-based drug discovery. But now, let's go more into how these drugs are created. And to visualize that, we can see the diagram below. Fragmentation begins with a complex molecule, broken down into smaller fragments. These fragments are tested for their ability to bind to a target protein, and the best performing fragments are then created to become a new other drug. It's like crafting a masterpiece. Think about having 5 Lego sets. I can take the best Lego pieces in the 5 Lego sets to create one structure of Legos with the best pieces. This is basically what fragmented-based drug discovery is. But the question is, how do we know this fragmented drug is a viable option? How do we know if it's effective? And in order to introduce that, through my research, I found something called molecular docking. Think of molecular docking as a virtual dating game, matching drug molecules with their targeted proteins. Scientists simulate these interactions to predict effectiveness, much like finding a perfect match on Tinder. This technique screens millions of compounds quickly, identifying promising candidates early in the process. On the right, we can see a little simulation, the protein on the left and then the drug on the right. When the drug binds to the protein, it actually changes its shape. When the protein changes its shape, it inhibits the function of the protein. But how do we calculate this inhibition? This is by molecular docking. And two really cool softwares that I found was called UCSF Chimera and Autodoc Vina. With this and these two softwares, I could simulate the docking process of docking a drug to a targeted protein. And when doing this, you get an output of information, the most important being the score, the delta G. And this basically represents how much energy was released when the drug attached to the protein. The more energy released signified how much the protein changed shape. So the higher the score, the greater the inhibition was of the drug to the protein. And this is how we can signal and identify the best performing drugs to certain proteins. We just need to look at the molecular docking score. So let's relate this to something else, something that's sweeping the world by storm and is introduced practically everywhere. This is, of course, artificial intelligence. Using a combination of machine learning models and artificial intelligence, I developed an algorithm to predict the best fragments of drug discovery. By training a dataset of drug fragments, my algorithm identified the most effective pieces of binding to target proteins. And my case study here was lymphatic cancer. And a very big thing that causes lymphatic cancer is this protein called the BCL2 protein. And in lymphatic tumors, the BCL2 protein actually stimulates cell growth and proliferation. So when we want to stop that tumor formation, we actually want to inhibit this BCL2 protein. And one drug that has been proven to do this is called venetoclax. And this was actually created through fragmented-based drug discovery. So I wanted to explore which pieces of venetoclax actually cause that inhibition. So I put this drug into my machine learning algorithm, and it outputted the fragment shown above. If you look at this venetoclax fragment slowly, it's actually just represented in the original drug itself. And an interesting thing that I discovered was that venetoclax had a docking score of negative 9.9 kilocalories per mole, where the fragment had a score of negative 6.9 kilocalories per mole, which means that one small fragment, about 1/10 of the size of the original drug, contributed to almost 2/3 of the inhibition rate or the effectiveness. And this is really how interesting fragmented-based drug discovery is. You can find the pieces of gold in between rocks in order to find the best fragments in a drug. So let's look at the bigger picture, which is global health. Combining drug discovery with AI holds an immense potential for global health. Faster, more accurate discoveries means more effective treatments for diseases affecting millions. I mean, we can imagine the impact: quicker cures, fewer side effects, and a brighter future for global health. We might even be able to increase life expectancy. It's not only venetoclax. Multiple drugs have been created through fragmentation in multiple countries around the world through global efforts. And as more life-saving treatments are discovered, the ripple effect around the world will transform global health. So this was a quick introduction to fragment-based drug discovery. And I thank you for joining me on this journey. And together, we can push the boundaries of what's possible in drug discovery, especially through fragmentation. Thank you so much for listening through this presentation. Here are my references that I used to create it. I would like to thank and acknowledge the GHLC program at Johns Hopkins for providing a really awesome opportunity to learn over the summer, as well as the opportunity to present my research. And if you want to contact me about further questions, you can email me at nisargs2018@gmail.com, or you can contact me through Instagram at nisarg_s27, all lowercase, if you want further questions or just about anything. Thank you guys so much.